So to lower that fear, you've got to communicate clearly, concisely, constantly. In addition to that, you've got to do something else. You've got to take action, and that action has got to be consistent with what you said you were going to do.
Important. And don't make it look churchy. You see, they reject the establishment, the home, the government, and the church. That's all establishment to them. That's tradition to them. Maybe have you got stained glass? They ain't into stained glass today. How long since you've heard a solo in church? They ain't into solos in church. You see, here's what happens. As far away from God, as confused as they are, every young person at the core of their being has a hunger for God. They don't know what it is. They just know they're hungry.
God, with a wonderful sense of humor, took me out of being a pastor and put me in denominational work. And I want to tell you, we're trying hard to be relevant. And so here's our mission statement. We exist in the State Convention Office of Montana to do nothing beyond this, to assist you, pastor, in your church as you seek to do Great Commission work.
I trust that you're here because you believe in the next generation of our church. You believe that young people are valuable and important, and that we are called to shepherd the sheep and the lambs and the ewes. And so I appreciate you greatly being here.
Church planting things such as evangelism and discipleship, does that not also happen or should be happening in our churches? If it's not happening in our churches, then our churches will not plant another church.
Technology should push team ministry forward, not create experts. If you're creating the need for experts, you're going the wrong direction. Number two, save time.
The small group session was really good. Just trying to figure out how we give those leaders a break and also equip them without the extra day of the week trying to bring them in for extra meetings. So
I really enjoyed the session on worship. I helped lead the worship at our church, and it was all about getting a journey to God, into the Holy of Holies, and really getting into that worship experience. It was a really neat session.
I think our main sessions brought some really good stuff. I think John Bozzano had some excellent things for new pastors. I just think there's so many things. So I think all in all, it's been a great convention.
I work with youth, so the student ministry just gave me lots of tools that I can take back and hopefully get more active, more involved.
I loved the music tonight. That was nice. It was progressive. And I wanted my daughter here. She would have loved it.
We really liked the main sessions. I just feel like both speakers were super encouraging. It's always good to hear a different perspective, a fresh perspective that's really encouraging and kind of challenges you to keep going in what you're doing.
Investment in the next generation is near and dear to my heart, so it was a great encouragement to continue to press on and continue to grow up the next generation of Christ followers for churches in the days to come. So,
I think my favorite session would be the small groups. It was informative. I learned some new things, and we had some good interactions.
My favorite was the Ray Willis's on reaching your community. There's a lot of good ideas there that I'd like to take out and just start in our church.
I think the fact that we have to stay current. We have to stay current. We have to stay relevant in our churches, and we can't get old and stale. We got to keep up with the times, but the message never changes. The message stays the same.